Number 9 states the overgrowth of algae poses a major problem for coral reefs. Intensive fishing is one factor that contributes to algae overgrowth because it does which of the following? So before we look at the answer choices, let's make sure that we understand what the question is asking. The overgrowth of algae poses a major problem for coral reefs. So it's telling us that if we have too much algae, then we have a problem with the growth of coral reefs. All right, so if we have more algae, right, increase in algae, then we're going to have a decrease in coral. All right, the coral reefs are going to have problems. Then it says intensive fishing is one factor that contributes to algae overgrowth. Now, intensive fishing, what does that mean? Intensive fishing. Well, intense means really a lot of something, right? So intensive fishing means we're fishing a lot. Well, if we do a lot of fishing, what happens to the population of fish? Well, it goes down. So intensive fishing means we have less fish in the ocean. So intensive fishing means we're catching a lot of fish, so we're taking them out of the water. And it says that's one factor that contributes to algae overgrowth. So what it's saying here is intensive fishing, so we have less fish, is going to make more algae, right? It contributes to algae overgrowth. So why would less fish give us more algae? Well, let's look at this. A says it allows more sunlight to be available to algae. If I have fewer fish, do I suddenly have more sunlight? I don't think so. I don't think the fish are blocking a bunch of sunlight for the algae, especially as algae tends to grow at the top of the water. So A is not looking very good. B inhibits the spread of pathogens in algae colonies. So would fewer fish make less the spread of pathogens in algae colonies? That one doesn't sound very good to me, but I'm not sure, so I'm going to skip it for now. Let's look at C. Reduces the number of organisms that feed on algae. Well, I know it reduces the number of fish, so do fish feed on algae? Well, that's what I need to know. Well, if I think about it, when I go and I look at aquariums in fish stores, I do see fish eating algae a lot. So if I have fewer fish, then I would have fewer things eating the algae, and then I would have more algae. So C seems to make the most sense so far. Let's look at D. Increases the competition between different algae species. If I have fewer fish, does that increase competition of algae? I don't think so, probably not. So if I look at our answer choices that are left, inhibits the spread of pathogens in algae colonies. Well, pathogens are germs. So does it stop the spread of germs in algae colonies? I don't think so. So our best answer choice right now sounds like it's C, and that actually is the correct choice. If I have fewer fish, then I will have fewer organisms that are eating the algae, so I'm going to have more algae, which is creating a problem with my coral reef, and C is the correct answer.